Dumelang everyone and welcome to another episode of CP for SA. Today I'm joined by the founder of Small Business Runway and the current radio host on Alex FM. So if anything, I'll be learning a thing or two about how to present. Please help me welcome Gcina. How are you, Gcina?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very good. I think just to get it out the way, we haven't seen each other in years, but we actually went to high school together.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and I think with that said, it's just been really exciting to see the journey that you've been on over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm not the only one who's been inspired to, keep pushing the envelope and try to do a bit more.
Definitely.
I think obviously to give people a bit of context of what exactly has been inspiring, do you maybe just want to tell us a bit about who is Gcina?
Yeah. So sure, Gcina is just a young woman who is I call myself an impact entrepreneur because my whole premise, my whole work, my whole life is just based on how do I make an impact. I think just coming from a background where we're told to go to school, we're told, study science, get your maths together, and the people that know, in the generation of like higher grade and standard grade, we always like higher grade is the better grade.
Yeah.
So already from school, there's like a huge gap, there's a huge there's this thing of, the smart guys and the other guys, and I always found myself, I was gifted in some other way. But I don't consider myself somebody who's really, really smart. And then I'm also not somebody who's, the other guys, in high school. So I'm just literally trying to find my space. And I think for me, it's literally just been that. My whole life has just been a journey of like, how do I make sure that a woman like me, I'm quite a status-secure woman, when I walk into a room, I'm quite loud. When I talk to people, I'm very... just my energy, I bring this whole energy and presence with me, and it's not always easy to fit people like me into a box.
Yeah.
So I think everything that I've done is just to find my space, just to find my industry, find where a job or an opportunity where I can be able to express myself, I can be able to be creative, I can be loud, I can be and.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to take it back right to high school, but I mean, essentially, now I'm traditionally told study science. I hated science with all my life. But it's like, no, you need to keep your careers open. But I always knew I wanted to be in radio. I wanted to study media. So I studied media studies and, just made sure that I get the whole spectrum of marketing, advertising, radio, TV, production, all of that. And then like everyone else went on and got a, sort of office job. And still I was not fulfilled. I was just not getting to the place that I really want to get to.
Yeah.
And I think, I was like, no, the traditional, schooling and the traditional work system is not for me. Let me go out and do something that I would enjoy, something that I would be passionate to wake up to. And I just found myself starting a business. So I actually started with like a brand activations company. So I was like, all right, great. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna take brands and I'm gonna, do activations in the malls. I'm gonna do activations at events and all of that. I think it's just been it's just been a journey. I'm still on this journey, I'm still on the journey. And I'm here because I'm hoping also to learn from you. How you do it in your space. But I mean, it's exciting.
Yeah, so I think, funny enough, is I always think like when people look externally, they tend to see more in people. So I mean, what I mean by that is, I wasn't surprised to see you in radio, just because from high school, how people have personalities, and I think there were clearly a few people in high school that you knew that this one, if you give them a mic, they'll just keep speaking. Because I think, like you said, the whole being loud and energetic, that's not a new thing. I think that's always been your personality. So I think what would be good to get is, was it intentionally you trying to find what is it that you're good at and then finding something in the world that suited that, or did you just stumble into, sitting behind the mic?
So it's always just been my intention.
Yeah.
I've always known that I want to do either a job, or I want to work in a space where I can talk to people, because I love stories, I love listening to people. I'm also somebody who's very empathetic, so I almost take on whatever energy or emotions that people are experiencing, and I found that when I do speak to people, there is some kind of an impact that my conversation or whatever we talk about has on the person.
Yeah.
So I've always known that I need something. I didn't really know that it was radio at the time, or I didn't know it was kind of but I knew it was in media because you watch your TV growing up, you're like, hey, that looks like a nice job, somebody's on TV, they get to, we watch Abobonang, and we're like, hey, that's interesting. She talks to different people on a different, because one thing for sure was that I'm not going to sit behind an office desk and do the same thing every single day.
Yeah.
I think I was very clear about that. So there was a bit of intention in the sense that I need to be in something that I can express myself and talk to people.
Yeah, actually, as you're speaking, I'm just getting reminded of just how, I don't know if it's inventive or outgoing. I think from the time when we knew each other, I mean, you had me singing in the choir.
Yes,
You had me acting on stage.
Exactly, right?
And I think that's exactly what I'm speaking to. I mean, to say, even when we were young, you had influence and got people to do, very interesting things out of that comfort zone. Because, I mean, if you ask me what I was doing at school, I wasn't a nerd as such, but my focus was probably more towards studies. But I still found myself, doing things because in the way that you ask for the support, you ask for people to take part in it. It made it exciting for us as well, and I think that's why we enjoyed some of our time in high school because we got to do things.
We did. My goodness, you're just reminding me of creative voices.
Yeah.
So I remember there was a time where I don't know what happened, but the drama, the cultural activities in our school was just like falling. It was just not that active. I mean, for whatever reason, there wasn't any like real drama. There wasn't a choir. I think there was still debating and public speaking, but there was with only 2 kind of cultural activities that could be done. And myself and a friend of mine like, no, we need to do something.
Yeah.
And that's how we then formed Creative Voices, and we're like, guys, let's go, let's sing. I mean, we were fortunate enough to get, one of the teachers who believed in us and went as far as actually bringing people from outside to come in and teach us drama. Yeah. So I think I've always just been that person that's just like, no man, what can we do? Because it's also that, it's whatever was in me was always looking for a way to express itself.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be the kind of person who also, I mean, when I even started working, after, sort of tertiary studies, I would always walk into a room and be afraid to be Gcina and be afraid to be, afraid to use my voice, afraid to even hanging my shoulders low, because I've always been taller. So it's always just this thing like, oh my gosh, all my friends are short. Nami, how do I sink down? How do I, sort of fit in?
Yeah.
And in high school, there's this whole thing of like the boys and the girls. So all the boys are also short. I'm taller than all the boys. So it's like, what's really happening? So, but now now that I know better, I'm learning to be comfortable with the expression of me, the loudness, whatever it is that my gifts have to come out. And I'm just blessed, to be honest with you, that I do actually, I am in a position right now where I get to express myself, and me expressing myself, I hope also gives somebody else just that hope, Babon, which it's possible. You can also be whoever that you want to be,
Yeah, so I think my takeaway from all of that is, while you had identified that you want to be able to express yourself, I appreciate that you've always been able to share that platform.
Yeah.
So there are many people that say, I want to be heard, but not many people will say, but let's bring everyone else along and let's all tell our story. And I think that's what I think of when I think of, where we came from. And it also speaks to leadership, right? Because I think anyone that's good can go the journey alone, but to bring people along and have them actually follow that vision, that takes true leadership. So I think definitely from a young age, you know, that was already there. I think when you sit here and you look back.
Yeah, as I also reflected, I'm like, actually, there was leadership. And even now, in the work that I do at Small Business Runway, it's also trying to get people on board. I'm building my business, I'm building my, you know, I mean, I literally have a business development agency. Because as much as I have, you know, a few years of business experience, I feel like there is, if I offer a platform for all of us to kind of emerge as entrepreneurs, if I can build that platform where people are comfortable enough to say, I can actually build a business that I'm passionate about. You know, I don't have to go the traditional route of going to work for someone. I can, you know, be an entrepreneur. I can, you know, build a business that I really am excited to wake up to.
Yeah.
So I think also that it is a leadership position, and that's why I call myself an impact entrepreneur, because I'm not just trying to be, you know, I'm not saying I'm the leader, I know everything, and then there's followers, people that don't know. I'm saying we can all be on this journey. Like, let's go, let's build these empires, let's do and live the lives that we're meant to live ultimately.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you know, you're detailing it quite well there. But I guess if I'm an individual who's got a business, small business that I'm working on, why should I reach out to Small Business Runway? Because I just want people to understand what is it that you know, what will the opportunity be when I connect myself to Business Runway. Then we'll speak shortly after that around how do I connect myself to Business Runway.
Yeah. So maybe let me give you also just a little bit of a backstory. So when I started, I mentioned earlier the brand activation company, right?
Yeah.
That was back in 2013, 14. I literally was starting it. So when I registered my company, that was easy enough. I went and looked for a graphic designer who did my logo, paid some money. I went and I got somebody to do my website, 5,000 rand. I went to somebody to do my company profile. Another, you know, I can't even remember the figures, but something like 2.5. And then I was like, okay, I need to be out there. I need to get my name out there. And then you have to go and pay somebody else. And so on and on and on it went. I literally was like, okay, Cedar, how can Cedar help me with money? Okay, now Cedar wants you to have a business plan. Now you have to go and pay a business consultant. And they charge quite exorbitant fees, especially when you're a startup. So then it's another like 10 grand to pay a consultant, and then they do your business plan, and then they do your accounting, your financials, and everything. And so in your first few months, literally, of starting a business, you've parted with so much money, but you haven't even made a single cent from the business. So that's when I was like, no, there has to be a central place where small businesses in South Africa can go to and they get the help that they need, from the, you know, initial stages of registering, to them getting their, you know, corporate identity, to them getting, you know, marketing, being on social media, getting the word out there, getting clients, getting training of sales and marketing. And so that's literally how the business started. It is a full service business development agency now, because we basically journey with entrepreneurs from this time that they start their business, or even from the ideation phase to say, I want to start a business like this. Okay, let's sit down, let's figure out how we can help you, how we can support you. You know, networking is also a huge part of business, because that's where you actually get, you know, contacts, you meet different people. And so I'm like, okay, we're also going to do events where people actually can come together and see, you know, if there's any, take off agreements from there, if people can do business with each other from there, if they can get contact, whatever the case may be. And so that is what Small Business Runway is, without paying the fees. You know, for me, I mean, literally, you know, I've described the whole thing of going 5-6 different people, 5-6 different places, 5-6 different times where you part with money. We don't have to do that. If you come to Small Business Runway, we have got a team of people that can actually help you to get your business off the ground as quickly as possible, without spending exorbitant fees on consulting and business, just starting a business.
I think that's a noble goal. And I suppose up to this point, you know, we've and don't worry, by the time we get to the end, we'll speak about where to get you on radio and how to join Business Pay. But we've spoken about, you know, the young Gcina. We've spoken about the you now and what you do.
Yeah.
But I think what would be interesting is just what's next. Where are you going with what you're working on now?
So that's an interesting question, and there's always that balance, né, of trying to keep things, trying to work behind the scenes as quietly as possible, and then sharing information when it's already out there. And then there's the whole thing of just like being bold and declaring so that you can manifest whatever that you want. It's Small Business Runway. Right now, we're a full service business development agency. However, we don't offer real. So we offer a lot of the solutions that small businesses might need. However, we don't offer them funding.
Yes.
So right now, I'm in the process of actually building a whole like sort of different umbrella where we can have Small Business Runway Capital, where we'll actually be able to fund small businesses. Just like a micro fund, where if somebody's building a business, whatever the case, whatever businesses might be, whether it's in the beauty industry, whatever industry, we can help boost your business with some cash for either a stake in the business, or whenever the business is making profit during the duration of our contract, we can then take a portion of those of the revenue.
To pay for the service.
So I'm definitely into just now investing in businesses with money, because we do have the skills, we do have the networking, we do have the marketing, we can help with everything else. But now is the money, right? Because if I say full service, I need to offer the full service. So we're literally in the process of just like establishing just how we can do it, obviously legally, just making sure that we do comply with the laws of South Africa. But I think I'm definitely playing the micro financing space, where we can just like give businesses a needed cash boost.
That's very powerful. I think if anything, it speaks to. The reason why I asked the question is I need people to get that. We don't stumble along life and achieve things. You need to have some form of direction so that you know what you're working for, because that's what's supposed to inspire you, right? You're supposed to think about, when I get there, I'll be able to do so and so. I'll be able to help so and so. And I think it's just about knowing to practice that idea of saying, where do I want to end up? And therefore these are the steps I'll need to take to get there.
Definitely.
However,
I also feel like, just to add to your point, we need to, just as people now, we need to, whatever you're building, whatever career you're in, whatever business you're in, whatever you're doing, it's so important to just be self-aware. Because for the longest time, Tabang, I'll tell you now, I'm such a creative, I'm such a ideas person, I'm such a, this is what we can do, I'm very bold with ideas, I'm very like, oh my gosh, what if we did this, what if we did that? And I'm very good at hacking. I am very good, and it's taken a lot of sort of like getting my fingers burned to realize that this is my personality, because I will make things happen. That's the kind of person I am. So I'm very good with thinking of ideas. I'm very good with saying, just like I'm always on the hunt. I'm always on the hunt for new business. I'm always on the hunt, and somewhere somehow I've been missing the implementation side of things. And so now that I'm aware that this is the personality that I have, I've had to go and try and find somebody who's more of an implementer. Somebody who can actually just get down and do the things. Because that's not necessarily my strength. I can get things done, of course I do. And I make sure things are done. So there's a place for that, definitely, as a leader, as a business owner. But it's been so important for me to align myself with people that can kind of fill in the gaps and bring in the strengths that I don't have. So it's all about being self-aware. What can I bring to the table? What am I good at? And if there's somewhere where you're not good at, you need to be able to identify that and bring people in that can fill up those gaps. Because ultimately, I mean, let's be honest, we're not, you know, some kind of superheroes where we can do everything. You can do the creative, you can do, you know, the selling, the marketing, the, you know, whatever the case may be. So it's important to have a team, it's important to bring people in. Those partnerships are important. Those networks that I keep talking about, you know, some of the people that I am doing business with are people that have literally, I've met at some of my networking events that I've been to as well.
Yeah.
So it's all just a matter of like being self-aware, knowing where you're going, and then filling in the gaps.
Yeah, I mean, you reminded me of the quote, you know, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, you bring
further
people
go with
along.
people.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, so I think that definitely makes a lot of sense. But I suppose now, so if someone, you know, says you speak here and they think, I'd like to hear you speak a lot more, where do they find you to listen to you on radio?
Yeah, so I am on LXFM. Every single weekdays, I've got a mid-morning slot. It's from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's called The Real Deal. So LXFM frequency is 89.1. Or you can stream, I mean, they've got an app, so literally if you want to listen to it wherever you are in South Africa, because Alex FM is a community radio station. However, we do have an app so people can listen to, you know, download the Alex FM app and kind of listen there.
And what kind of topics are you?
So the show is like women and children.
Okay.
It's a women and children focused show. It's all about families. So yeah, the mandate when I was brought in was like, okay, women and children. But I think we know, man, you know, me and my ideas, I'm always like moving one step, I'm always a step ahead of myself. I've actually kind of convinced them to make it a family show, because to be honest, we're not, as women, we don't exist alone. Just women and children, we need men in our lives. We need, even, I mean, who do we have kids with? We have kids with our partners, our husbands, a lot of the topics are around just building the family structure, just building the, you know, relationship, the marriage institution, just, you know, making sure we're raising children that are happy, healthy. So that's the focus of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, really exciting.
Yeah.
And then the Small Business Runway. How does someone
Small
get
Business
in touch
Runway.
with that?
Yes, so we are on all social media platforms. It's at Small Business Runway. So that's your Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And so we do have a YouTube channel as well. A lot of our longer format, you know, sort of conversations and content goes there. But generally, if you just want to, you know, be inspired, motivated, we have regular, you know, networking events that we do. Of course, because of COVID, they've been a little bit slow. But I mean, I think our whole thing is to do one event a quarter. Yeah. And to also then just move around the country, you know, not just do them here in Joburg. So as soon as everything is sort of more open, we'll definitely be traveling around SA. But yeah, social media platforms. Me personally, I'm Gcina Madonsela on all social medias. Yeah. So yeah, that's where people can find me.
Perfect. And I think with that, this is an opportunity now, I guess, just to close out. Just in case you feel there's one question
that is not
that has not been asked. So is there anything that you want to add to what you've spoken about?
Sure. I think we've spoken quite a lot. You know, we have covered quite a lot. Yeah. You know, but if there's anything I think I would want to add is, as much as we are physical human beings, you know, we exist in these meat suits, this body that we have. We all have a body. We need to be very aware of the spiritual side of things. We need to know that there's a soul, there's a spirit living inside of our bodies. So as much as we take care of ourselves, we get cleaned up, we take care of the physical outer body, for me it's very important to also just be as aware and taking care of our spiritual body, whatever that is for you, whatever that looks like, you know, just take care of the inner man. Yeah.
No, I mean, and that comes down to take time to reflect, take time to...
so important.
Really get to
take
know
time alone.
Yourself. Yeah.
You know, just hang out on yourself, on your own. Just be yourself. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
No, awesome. Thank you for taking the time to join.
Yeah. It's been amazing. It's so short though. Are we done?
Well, bye.
Yeah, no, but we have
Bye.
covered a lot of ground.
No, we have. And I mean, you're always welcome to come back.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think as always, guys, I'll try to get more of these videos out. 2021 has not been easy, but if you like what you see, leave a comment, subscribe, and of course, go on to listen to now on Alexa FM. Ciao.
Okay, bye.